Adam. Kraken? Sure is.
Don't worry, Pauper's got you covered.
You saved hundreds when you switched.
Okay, cool. And he's really destroying my car.
How do you know it's a he?
We're on a mission to save you money.
Hello everybody, we're having a little bit of technical issues here. Let me just log in. I had a little blink up. Hold on a minute here. Alright. Sorry guys, a little hiccup. We've got people working on the house outside and all kinds of noises going on, and I right at the beginning of the show had some, like I said, just some digital screw up here, so hopefully everything goes good. I'm gonna stay on camera while Magic does its thing in the background there. Anyway, thanks for joining me everybody. Hopefully this show goes off with a few less hitches moving forward. I know MTG, when it starts up, it always has this little hiccup delay thing, and that kind of conflicted. And you're not hearing a strange birthing dragon in the background. This is actually they're working on the place downstairs, and it's incredibly loud, and they're like sawing into the building. And so I just rolled my eyes big time today. I was like, oh my god, I'm trying to do a show through this, so who knows. Rebel Yell, yes, and Chimpskey has a big time Billy Idol theme. I'm gonna let my PC just stop wigging out here, and like I said, when Magic starts up, I don't know if you guys experience this, you got to kind of leave it alone for like a minute or two, and I had everything ready, and then had some weird little blinky OBS thing that usually happens during the show, and it happened early, so this is when the magic happens. Yes, so I think we're good here. Let me see if I can bring this up. Okay, I'm gonna give this little pinwheel a go and go from there. Man, CPU is only at 8. I don't know why it's really struggling here. There's a small chance I might have to cancel the show if this keeps up. Thank you for that, Captain Vlatep. Sorry, I'm not even reading the chat, guys. I'm just like in nervous mode here. All right. Let's see if I can get this thing rolling here. If I bring this down, bring this up. Okay, go like this, go like this. Bring up OBS if it'll stop freaking out, and go like this. And we should be okay. I believe that's right about there. Constructed. Okay, sorry for the delay, guys. Well, that's a first. So I'm playing a deck today called White Wedding. The last time we played it, I was in a league and I went 4-1 with it. I played it to a second place finish on Tuesday in the Pauper Classic Tuesday thing. If you all wonder how I set up the show, this is how I do it. Just having a lot of fun. I messed up with the initial design, and I changed up the initial design and regretted it because I faced hexproof in the finals and lost badly because I didn't have any enchantment removal outside of a few Dawnbringer Cleric. So this is the list. I call it White Wedding because I've always thought that, actually it's not even in the list, but Lone Missionary kind of reminds me of Billy Idol. We're playing Wedding, and it's a lot of white creatures, so you know me and my silly names. Right? PauperRBust. Sorry, okay, now I'm online, guys, and make sure everything's looking to sound good. Sorry about all the delays there. Never had that happen at the beginning of the show where it just freaks out then. Okay, so I've got 20 lands. I think I went up 1 on this list. I got 4 Dens, 2 Furnace, 1 Mountain. We've got 6 Plains, all bridges and all crags. Used to have the life package and the fountain card there, and more of the Karoo lands. But again, I've been on this thing lately where I just hate losing to ramp I really think this is a novel way to go about at least staying on the board with this list. And this list can win on turn 2 if you're new to this thing here. So Ultra Volcarine, thank you for that. Because we've got the Tireless Tribe combo here, and it almost acts as like a boogeyman. We can make it unblockable with this, and we got defense in this. but yeah, it's been getting there a lot. Sometimes you just have it, and this list, turn 2 wins. It's like it just feels like Christmas morning on that. I was messing around with Journey to Nowheres. I went back to Lightning Bolt just to clear the way, and it's obviously good with the synthesizer. So back to the list, we're running that Glint Hawk, Skyfisher. Go fetch this and this for our card draw engine. We've got 4 Faithless Lootings. Probably go to 3 on this and maybe sneak back in 1. What's that? Rally the Peasants. But I just found I was never casting Rally. I was never swarming Win. You either win with the combo or it's kind of a grind fest and you win kind of like how, just Boros mid-range does. Anyway, to the sideboard, I've got 1 Cleric, 2 Destroy Evil. Again, a little homage to what I lost to, being that this can target an enchantment. Got the nod. I'm trying it out over Journey or like Oblivion Ring. 3 Missionaries, 4 Dust to Dust, 1 Patrician Scorn, 2 End the Festivities, and the Tormod's Crypt. I like this over Relic in playing because a lot of times I can synthesize right into it and be tapped out, and comes up very rarely, but that's my logic there. Plus, who doesn't like the old looking artifact, right? Okay, so now let's see if we can get this going here and get things up to date. All right, let's say 2 on this. Sorry, I'm obviously a little bit flustered because of all the crazy shenanigans at the beginning of the show. So, all right, looks like we're looking and sounding good again. All right, that was strange. Yes. We'll open this up. We have the combo in hand, but we don't have any draw. But I think we're going to risk it just in case we're up against something that's a little bit slow. So we'll keep. Oh, I've got this weird... I didn't even settle upon doing this. I started just eating once a day about Monday. Happened on accident. I was like, I'm not really hungry. I went to bed and I felt really good and slept super good. And I've always tried intermittent fasting prior to that. And always had like about a 6-hour window anyway, sometimes 4. And I just took it to the extreme and been doing it. And yeah, it's a trip. Obviously, you lose some weight. Quite a bit, actually. Don't know if it, but drink a lot of water and stuff. But I was very surprised how easy it is. I don't know if anybody in the chat's ever tried that. You only eat once a day for about 10 years now. Yeah, I was like, oh, I'll see if I can get to the end of the week. And here it is Saturday, and I think I'm doing it today too. Okay, so we got there. We'll just play this and hope they don't have like an edict. Maybe, who knows, throw a Karoo land out and we scare them to death. The good thing about Tribe against red-based strategies is you can always discard something and keep it alive. Oof. What do they got? What do they got? Okay, well, I got a blocker, darn it. All right. Well, I guess we could swing in and see if they want to block, right? Been on and off. Might go back, do it again. Weight loss. Cool. Never mind, we got it here. So we'll just get this out of the way. Something Journey couldn't do, we should observe. And I think we just have 21 damage here. Do we? Oh, that's only going to be 4, isn't it? Ah. Well, still. Oh, boy. This is a tough loot. We'll get 4. That's 17 damage. They'll be at 4, and then our game's just dead. I'm going to Hawk here. Miscounted with the lightning bolt. I was like, I got it. It's like, they don't got it. So in retrospect, had I played a little slower, I probably should have Hawked first and then obviously waited for the 1-2 combo, because we know what they're trying to do. Put the Edge of Divinity on the nip, the little hag. Pauper Tim, thank you so much, my friend. Sorry for that shaky beginning here. Woo! Alrighty. Had a nice get-together with the neighbors last night. Just old school sit around and chat and have some, libations and such. It was really nice. Got a really good group here. All right, well, maybe that will tell, like, oh, we don't have the combo, so we won't want to block. I don't know. I'm dreaming. Yeah, this is a great build for Hawk. It just loads up your hand really nicely and it just gets you there. I'm going to crash in case they don't block. I'm okay to lose maybe a Hawk to the zombie. Do I got it? Do I got it? I got it. We got it. Boink. We'll do this. Draw a card. I'm going to keep that Dan Hawk in hand, maybe. Oh, this is fun, huh? Okay, so we'll get rid of this. 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 Sometimes you just get it. This. This. There's 21. And just in case I did something wrong, we'll just shoot it. Plop. Crunch. All right. It gets there. Boink. Ors have aggro. Okay, we saw a lot of 1/1s, so I like the feel of this. Did they have artifact lands? Let's see. I gotta pay more attention. I'm telling you, I got so flustered by the show being ruined there at the top that I'm like all scatterbrained right now, so apologies. All right, Cleric's gonna be good. I kind of like Scorn here if they get out of control with the plan. Yeah, Destroy Evil is a really good call. That's just almost too many toys, huh? You know what? Maybe I let him go wide. Won't be gaining life. I think I'm just going to bring in the anti-package here. We'll lean on Strands, but we got to lose 4 cards. So I'll lose an Invitation. I'm going to lose part of our combo. Go like that. And Looting. And we'll see what happens. Boink! You follow us on social media with our YouTube channel link, or with what do you call it, the social. My son just almost got a Dallas slot over at the RCQ. We'll keep this. We'll slow roll this one. He finished, I think, 3rd or 4th, and just missed his invitation to Dallas. He didn't even know it was up for that, so I was just like, kiddo, you got to start hunting that, because he's a darn fine player. Yep, I've got the Scorn in. The Scorn is here. Well, let's lean on... I guess we'll lean on life here. We've got 2 artifacts in case Glinty shows up. Probably just going to drop that invitation and see if anybody shows up to the wedding, right? Thanks for joining me, everybody. Sorry for... got to stop apologizing, too. Those things happen. If you do hear something weird in the background, they're doing some strange grinding on the building, and I don't know what that's all about. Thank you for that, Shiraz. Woo! I'm not even taking notes. What's going on here? That's down. Okay. Yeah, this is one of the scariest little things in Pauper right there, boy. What to do? I think we just slow roll this. We'll play the tribe out. Keep Bolt up, just in case they got some sort of shenanigans, which is probably an option here at the top of the thing, because they've got more cards in their hand than they're going to have later. Grindcore. I like that. April Fool's Day, yes. Is that a thing everywhere else? I think it might just be here in the States. I don't know. It used to be such a big thing as a kid, man. God, teachers would just pull all kinds of tricks. Same with St. Patrick's Day. It's just everybody would pinch you, and now I don't think all that's... What do you call you know what? Let's keep that in hand. I don't need to burn that out too badly. We've got the wedding invitation. Let's just go like this. Yep, the old wet willies. That be true. Let's see. Keep our options open. I'm going to drop the invitation. Nice little cornerstone of the deck here. They got artifact lands. I don't think I want to bring in Dust to Dust. That seems like overboarding to me. We'll just sit back. Breathless Night. Yep, they're probably running that. We ran a show about 4 or 5 months ago where we had the Breathless Night package going on. That was pretty cool. Whoa! Vanilla Sleeper. Kicked. Enters the battlefield. Each player sacrifices a creature. Yowza. Well, that's pretty good against us. Pretty great. Well, I've got to sacrifice this one. It's kind of good we don't have the combo in hand, right? It doesn't feel that bad. If we had it, it'd be like, oh man, what's going on here? I'm not too worried about that. Let's see, this is that's one of those the new card, yeah. That's quite a bit of card. Well, I think if they had the combo, they would have done it. Maybe they're playing really disciplined with the my having a red source up. I want to kill it now. I guess if they enchant it, I can always do that. So I'm going to zap this now. Stem the bleeding. You know, that's a pretty playable card. 2 mana. Nice little upside there. All right. If you don't play Synthesizer much, you always want to play it very first thing in case you hit a land. And sometimes mid to late, I like to just do it because sometimes you hit a land again, which is what I'm going to do right now. See if we get lucky. Please be a land. Good. I don't want a land. That's why I want it to be excavated. Woo! Captain Vlad Tepes, I know what you mean. Oh, and our old friend Little Fight texted me last night right after the dinner party. He was like, hey, you up for a few games? I was like, whoa, that's a rarity. He was pretty, I showed him, I played the Proliferate deck that we played. Not the Infect one, but the just the straight up Proliferate list, and had a good time with that. Oh, do I wait for that Breathless Night to get huge? One of the bad things about this list is it doesn't like life gain. Spake of the Devil. 1, 2, 3. Well, we could lean on Strands here. I think I'm going to do that. Yeah. Kind of do a little yield turn here. Play behind Strands. We'll kick the Synthesizer first shot out and then play it from there. Angelic Renewal showing up. Okay. Yeah, it's going to be nice if we do draw our, what do you call, what's that? What's the instant that blows up all enchantments? Patrician Scorn, that's it. Scorn, that's right. Okay, there it is. That's okay. We can either kill it or blow some stuff up. I'd rather just, we'll just Strands here and let that go through. Boink. Such a good card. We'll say black. No life for you, sir. Now, do we destroy Evil the Reckless or what? Since they're going to get creatures back, it's probably best to just turn off that draw, right? Okay, let's do this, and this. Think this through. We'll blow up that life gain probably no matter what. Let's get a critter online so we can flash back Prismatic. It's just so made for this list. It's crazy. Oh, now I've got options. Darn it. All right. I guess we'll play Skyfisher and then we'll just Strands. Let's do. I'll play the land. So I'll get greedy and play out the synth again. Yes. Return a permanent. I think I'll roll the dice on this one. Let's do it. Boop. Please be a land. I don't want any more land. Good. Now do I want to do that again? I think I will. Let's hit another land. You know I'm going to be flooded today. Let's see it happen. Whatever this is, we lose it. Oh, that hurts a little bit. Hawk would be nice, but we've got 2 white critters on the board. Now we can just block and say black. That is greedy. Yes. That's how I roll. Sometimes I like using it as a retrace spell. Speaking of the name of the card I'm in, right? You ever think this could be printed? Triple black land destruction. All right. Let's see what we got here, folks. Hey, rules gurus. I'm a little foggy on this. If I call black, that still does white damage? So will Prismatic Strands not work as a combat trick here? I guess we'll find out. I'm about to do it. We shall block, saving our destroy evil for more things. I'll call white. I'm pretty sure this works. Thank you for the chat there, guys. Like I said, I'm so flustered from the start of the show. I'm just like, ugh, I felt all rattled. Like, right when I came to sit down, the you know, the jackhammering and all this stuff outside started, and I was like, oh my God. And I sat down and all these technical issues. I even have a thing I roll to for technical issues, and I didn't do it. I don't know why, but whatever. Fun game. Okay, well, that answer is solved. It does work. I was pretty sure it would, but, you know. Thank you for that. Takokieri? Sorry, I'm butchering your name, but thank you for the reminder there. I know it's a typical play where I would just walk right over the mistake move, right? Okay, we've got our mana online. They're at 23 life. This, I like everything in my hand, so I don't really want to loot here. We've got a target if we do draw another spell here. So let me pop the synth, get another critter out. We can just sit behind a prismatic if we need to. That's pretty good. Yeah. Do I want to do it now? I guess I have to, right? I mean, it'll force him to do that. But then that'll come back. So let's wait till the end of turn here. Let's attack here. I could just kill the Angelic Renewal and then bolt. I think I like that line better. They probably just have recommission in hand anyway, so let's get rid of this problem child here. Destroy target enchantment. Whoop. Destroy evil. All right. Gonna put a stamp on this play. See it a mile away, right? Uh-oh. What they got? Some synergy there. All right. Well, we got him at 19. Things feel stabilized. Draw engines online. Strands in hand. Like I said, this can play really mid-rangey, but it's nice to just have that combo availability. Really cold in the house today, so apologies for me rubbing my hands and blowing on them. Whew. Didn't help that I started watching this Arctic show called The Terror with my wife early in the morning, and so it just, you know, sometimes when you watch something cold, you just start feeling cold. That was the case. Hey, look at this. We're doing stuff. All right, well, let's just attack. Haven't played Pauper in a couple of years. Looks like they've been getting some steady cards. Yeah. Oh, the Experimental Synth card. Oh, it's best to just play with it. I mean, I guess look it up and read it, but you always want to play it first. There's just so much value in this card, and you start bouncing it with Skyfishers and stuff. The chat can probably tell you a bit more. All right, we'll let this guy come back. I think we're just gonna. Can always flip Skyfisher's damage with the inside out for like a last minute kapow, but well, let's see what we get. If I get some lands, I'll toss them. All right, I'll toss here. I like the rest of my hand. I'd rather keep a prismatic as a bad surprise. So one of the things too with my new dietary whatever I'm on, I drink a lot more water, so there might be some more bathroom breaks if I keep doing this here. It's just when Experimental Synthesizer came out, it was just so unfair for these kind of lists because it makes a white creature with vigilance. I mean, there's nothing Prismatic Strands likes more than that. It's just unfair. And it's a 2/2. Could have made it a 2/1, you know, it's crazy. But let's get some more online here. We're just trying to fish out lands in our list here. All right, we'll get rid of this. And I guess Strands, we're in a pretty good position here. Attack. Now our combo's online, we don't even need it. That's pretty fun though. And don't ever be afraid if you got multiple wedding invitations. It's always fun to just crash in, flip the Skyfisher's stats, hit for 3 sometimes. Pretty great. What's he got? What's he got, Governor? It's coming back. The value engine is online. Well, being very disciplined. So Yuska Jones is our opponent. A freeze emoji. Yes, that's how my fingers are feeling. For sure. Woo! Alrighty. Coming on through. Crunch. We'll throw this out just to scare them. Do we want to hit the tribe freebie here? I think I'll still wait. I can always hard cast it and respond to stuff. Talk about greedy. That felt greedy. Woo. Yeah, it's a pretty ridiculous card. Probably right on the border of being like banned. You know, if it's just right at that razor's edge. When you're on the other side of it, it's just like, oh, come on. Just like I said, even if you hit lands in the mid game, it's a good thing. It's just bury them. I don't want to draw that. Save my draws. We got all the right stuff here. Just come in for the win here, I guess, if they don't want to do stuff. Let's bring this out first, just so good habit to get into it in case we don't have vigilance creatures, but we all know we do. I'll probably do a block here, I would imagine, because they know we are playing lightning bolts. There's 2 of them in our yard. Doink. What is this new devilry? Okay. That goes bye-bye. I could get in for 5 with swapping the Skyfisher stats. Yeah, the problem with the synthesizer, to our new chatter question there, is that if you're playing artifacts in red, it's almost hindering to deck building because it's just almost terrible to not include it. And then you're forced into that Skyfisher, and then, okay, now I've got 12 spots that are accounted for, and it's tough to get out of. All right. Well, we've got that. I like everything in my hand, so I'll try to be patient. Poor opponent. These kind of lists can really get out of control, but I've just been able to kind of hold back and play the Strands game well enough. I've already seen a cast down. I don't think I really want to go too crazy on this stuff. Alrighty, let me trip Scorn here. Double check. We're not going to be losing much. Okay. I'll just hardcast Scorn. Not the way you usually want to do it. I don't want him to get super value here. Let's do this here. You know what? I'm going to lose Tribe. Our hand's eviscerated, so... Doink! Give them what they want, right? This way Skyfisher's lethal. And we can do an offensive Prismatic Strands thanks to our Samurai tokens. Right. We don't even need to. But it'd be fun to do that, right? So make this unblockable. We'll switch Skyfisher's stats, see what we draw. Whoop, poink, poink. A lot of ways to build Boros. That's how I like to do it. Doo-doo-doo. Disfigure. Oh, cool. All right. Let's get in here, see if we win. Can't be blocked. And the other one flies. Woo! With the threat of Tribe, keeping them in perspectives. All right. Nerves are settled. Time to start crushing fools. Woo! Been just going crazy on Ric Flair's. Like when I'm on Facebook or whatever, I follow him, and just such a neat way to start your day. I know I mentioned that last week, but just so ridiculous. That professional wrestling of that era is just craziness. So anyway, yeah. So a lot of times, if people aren't very obvious and know what's going on with Tribe, they will see this card go off like what just happened, turn 2 wins and stuff, and be like, "Oh my god!" And so it almost leaves like the full speed ahead for the rest of your critters. A lot of times they'll just get there, as we just saw in game 2. I couldn't have really had a better example, kind of a 1-2 punch there. A lot of times the mistakes I'll make with this list is I'll forget Inside Out draws a card when I have Tireless Tribe math on the table. So yeah, usually you want to be discarding 4 for 16 and actually 17 when it swaps. It's usually 21 with 5. That's why we want to fill up our hand with Skyfisher. And just a lot of fun. I used to run that one white spell. It gains 4 life, or it puts a +1/+1 counter, or it destroys an enchantment. And my logic being there, if like you're in a metagame where there's a lot more lava darts and you really like this list, that's a good way to go. It's one of those choose one cards. Does anybody know? Oh yeah, Chimpskey changed quite a bit. I added a land. The mana is completely different because we're running these over the Karoo lands now. Karoo is, obviously you throw a land back in your hand and you might have lethal with Tribe when you normally won. It happens so rarely that I like the protection better for that reason. Okay, bit of a slow roll here. We're going to draw. Yeah, I'll just keep this. Strands makes you feel kind of invulnerable. You're just like, unless this is fog or something. Yeah, Light of Hope. Thank you for that. Keeping this. Let's try not to tempt the Mulligan Boogeyman. This is a terrible keep, but we're going to do it. Wedding Invitation, Squadron. That's a lot of cards, so even if we just draw land, it's okay here. Here we go. Speaking of land. See if it keeps up. Yeah, that's a lot of card. Light of Hope's pretty darn good. Only reason I strayed away from it is Kuldotha Red's such a thing right now that I like the bodies, and a lot of times Dawnbringer Cleric it deserves another spell from them to get rid of because of the 1/3 body, and then the Billy Idol dude shows up and can block and gain you the life. So all these little micro advantages. Hey, look at that. That's pretty cool. I'm going to throw this out just to do it. Get some. We don't have the combo in hand, so I'm just kind of carefree. It's like, you want to use a cast down on it right now? Go for it. Doesn't feel as bad losing it when I have that option. And I can also, if red shows up, I can always discard Strands. I love playing Strands in a tribe list for very obvious reasons. Not many cards have good discard effects in white. I threaten you all to try to play with Patrol Hound. Outside of the great flavor text, I don't think it's playable. We'll drop the Crag and hope for the best here. Land ho! Careless Tribe. There we go. Cool. It'll be back. Squadron Hawks, usually just about filling up your hand and using it for food for Tribe, but it's a really good card, obviously, getting around Edict effects. We're running a healthy amount of creatures here, especially when you count Experimental Synthesizer as one. Uh-oh. Remember that land destruction I was talking about? Good times. Might be bad times. This is cool. I haven't seen land destruction. MBCLD. All right. We will draw into Invitation. Hopefully we hit another land. And maybe of the indestructible persuasion, right? Come on, land. Indestructible. Boop. All right. I ain't going to complain. We're going to be cast out of red, though. But outside of the lightning bolt, we're doing all right. Oh, yeah. Wild Mongrel's a hell of a card. I always say if that got printed, people would just be going nuts. Like if it was first, and a new set coming out, they'd be like, oh, my God. How can Stompy use this? A lot of card. All right. Life gain is nullified. So thankful for Wedding Invitation here. Our lightning bolt sits marooned in our hand. Well, I'm going to just get the invitation out. Kind of settle on our lands. Hopefully they don't top deck something. That's really hopeful. I really hope we get a red source because Experimental Synthesizer could music our way right out of this land destruction plan. But I'm sure Angler's going to show up here pretty soon. I haven't seen Scorpion in this list, but I haven't seen this list since Scorpion was printed. So I had a big time crush on this list for a while. It's probably when I made this card frame I'm sitting inside of, right? You get that Dark Ritual early lead out and a 5/5 down, and the person's just mana screwed. It's like, woo! Yeah, Dreamer Stingo. I like that too. There's Shield of the Oversoul. God, why do I remember that? I used to play it on that all the time, and when Goblins was a thing, and I was first making my Stompy list long ago. That was a lot of fun. You make it have flying, and then you make it indestructible, and just pitching cards all over the place. Come on, red source. Show up. Hey, wow. That's pretty great. Now what do I want to do, though? The red source has shown up. I don't want to flip this unless I can get some really good value out of it. In case English shows up, or an edict style effect, I want to get this out. I'm going to fill up my hand just to really up our ante for the percentage to hit a land. And we'll be discarding strands for the Gurmag Angler we know is in our future. A lot of people won't do this. I always like to use strands that way, especially when it's not a red deck. It's just more of a half card when you play it like this, but we've got another one in hand, so feeling pretty good here. Boop. And we are pitching the strands, pitching the strands. Those are our demands. Too many syllables. Not a big fan of this artwork. It's just one of those cards I've played so long. It was the first Pauper card I looked at and was like, oh my god, that I will misplay if I use the other art version of that. So if you're wondering. All right, there's the card we all love to hate. Chittering Rat showing up. And throw back a Hawk. Wish I could play it at instant speed. It's always fun to pull that off, right? Or is he playing a Gary build here? What's going on? I think if we don't draw any better, I'll just Tribe, sit on Lightning Bolt, double block strands, that's that sort of line. Come on, land. Actually, Synthesizer makes more sense here. Let's bring this out in case we hit a land. So that will make up for Chittering Rats. Cards like this, a lot of things in Pauper have really made Chittering Rats just, I think, unplayable. That's too strong of a word. It's definitely playable. It's definitely a good card, but it's just so much more out there, folks. All right, let's put the fear of God in them. We got it. I'm sitting on the combo. You better watch out. Woo! I've often thought of playing something like Kung Fu Tree style. I've missed that guy. I haven't seen his name in years. Super, super good brewer. About 4 or 5 years ago now. It's been a while. I always underestimate how long it's been. But he would always do goofy things like that. Like he just played Tribe with no combo, just in the list, and I always like that where the person's just like holding back, and it's just like you just get there with everything else, or just take the combo out, like get rid of Inside Out, which is hard to do because it's so good against walls and a lot of other decks. That's just a funny play. Yeah, I wish Seb McKinnon would get to work on Prismatic Strands art there, Dreamer Stango. I'd be pretty bad art director at Wizards. Everything would just have a very uniform, spooky look. Speaking of spooky, we've got some Innistrad trivia for our first bathroom breaks. And I don't know if this guy knows Strands is in the yard or if they've just got some trick. I mean, I'll do it. We'll call black and go like that. Seb McKinnon, black. I wish also the interface would show you really larger mana symbols, like right in the middle of the screen when you're picking a Prismatic Strands. That would be nice. So maybe he has an Unearth here, and that's why he's doing it. We shall see. Oh, just caught him with the pants down. Hey, there's the combo. All right. And we've got the wedding invitation, but do they have cast down? That's what's nerve-wracking here, right? Should we just go for it? That's so reckless. We've already seen cast down. I mean, what deck doesn't play cast down, right? I'm gonna trip the synth here. See if we get a land. They don't have it, I'm going to feel really dumb, but now I feel like a genius because we top decked a artifact land. They're blowing up 3 lands, so these little synthesizers are definitely getting home here. I don't want to waste a spell on that. I'm just going to act like I'm all scaredy cat and wait for him to tap out, maybe with a Gary or something. I don't know. I wouldn't play a Gary in this style, but the Chittering Rats makes me think otherwise. Hide the title ball. Yeah, that would be pretty nice. Little customization. I know, remember back in the day when MTG first came out, you could choose all your own backgrounds and everything, and it got really tacky, though. I do like how sleek the backgrounds are. You're always dark gray. Your opponent's dark, dark whatever this is in the background. Yeah, we'll let it go. Don't be playing your snowlands. Is this angler time? This is when you do wish you had a journey, but the reason being I cut journey is when you run a Strands engine, if you get adept with Strands plays, you can really not use removal. Like the lightning bolts just there to hit them in the head or clear the way for inside out when you don't have wedding invitation. When you're not invited to the wedding, he keeps those 2 up. I'm respecting it. There's no way to draw cards here outside of flipping somebody, so I'm going to cast a birdie. Birdie. Haven't played pickleball in over a week between leagues right now, so just make sure. Yep, okay. Gonna get that shuffle in there, right? Woo! Let's go. At any time we can Prismatic Strands and just discard it to the tribe. Haha, Ultra Volcarine, you got it. That many. I love me some Kung Pao Enter the Fist. Your clothes are red. I haven't played that in forever. I used to run that at the top of the intro, like, I am a great magician. Your mana's red. Wow, please do it again. If you don't know that, that's probably just coming across as a foreign language. Apologies. Go watch some of our very old 3-4 years ago shows, and I've got that up. They're holding up 2 swamps. I'm holding up mountain. We've got it. Maybe they don't. Probably had the win long ago, but cast down, snuff out. Geez, you want to go old school in a deck like this? You might even be running Ghastly Demise. Yeah, go look that one up. Deluxe Duo Wild Mongrel. That's right. Yeah, your body's red. Oh, now we might have the combo, unless they have snuff out. Let's get rid of this blocker. Hey-ya! Gaining some life. Drain the well right outside of being playable in my opinion, but if you're going to kind of go all in on these strategies, it's a good way to do it. Well, our combo's gone, unless we draw another red source here. It would be a pretty funny skid, Ultra Volcarine. Yeah, we're just going to sit and go. I don't think I want to wait on a Prismatic here. I mean, I can always do it in a pinch, so I'm just going to play the Hawk out. Boy, am I glad I added that extra land. Yeah, I forgot we played a league with this the last time, and we did go 4-1. I didn't watch the video long enough to remember what I lost to, which was very dumb of me. I should have done that and maybe made the tweaks based on that. But this is definitely a tier right on the border of 2 and 1. Might be 1. Seeker of the Way is obviously a nice way out of things, but against Cold Out the Red, I just want the answer now. When I play a card, I want to gain the life right now. The payoff for Seeker is obviously better, but I think you have to be going against a pretty janky list to have that thing live more than a turn against most lists out there. Thank you for that, Chimpskey. All right, they're gaining life. This is just mono black land destruction. This is pretty cool. Then we have to give this another go. I made the wrong card frame, right? I should have been playing this guy's list. Alrighty. Down it goes. This is one of the other problems I ran into when I brew with this list is you never find Angler and you just keep, blowing up lands and your opponent gets flooded. And It's or the creatures don't get online, or the few that sneak through still get you, which is what's happening here. Arms of Hadar would be a really nice pull. I'd be running that main if I was playing this list. At least maybe 2. Deadly Dispute. Forget who was asking the question about Experimental Synthesizer, if they're still in the chat, but give this one another super hard look too. This is one of the cornerstones of the format. Number 1 on our list of top Pauper cards. Woo! And thank you for all the subs, guys. Over the last week, we went over 7,000 subs if you saw the top of the show. And that's where we go from there. It's funny watching that video go through some, every other, not every other. There's like 4 or 5 cards in there. I'm like, oh, that's been banned, but that doesn't stop us. Things might get unbanned. We shall see. 7,000 souls harvested. Yes. In case I don't know, draw the combo, I'd rather have a flyer. Let's just get out the Hawk, just in case they blow up the last land, and this means the difference of life and death if an angler does show up. Feels like we got this game in hand. Say nope. And attack. Let's get on in with the tribe for the first time. White Wedding. I do love me some Billy Idol 80s music. That was the height of MTV's, like, just going, having like special videos and just like, oh my God, did you see that? My wife found some channel on satellite that was just like, oh, that's an interesting choice. I guess it is hitting the hardest. Yeah, we're real susceptible to what right here. Suffocating Fumes. A lot of people play that one main instead of the Hadar I was suggesting. Okay, I was really expecting it there. But anyway, we found this old 80s channel, and it was pretty much MTV back in the day. So it was really cool. It wasn't named that, but it was like, wow, this is nice. Just leave it on in the background. Feel like you did when you were a kid. At least me. Okay. Skyfisher's nice. I'm going to play this because of Suffocating Fumes. Hear me out. I can discard and keep at least 2 critters alive. I think if they had it, they would have played it. They're just, I think, waiting for their angler to show up. Feel kind of bad for our opponent. This kind of list always does that to me too. Land destruction when you don't need it. Lands of your own when you don't need it. You just need a creature. So if they do top deck of Fumes here, I'll pitch both strands, and that way we keep pressure on the board. That's kind of a goofy play, but I think it's the best one right now. Be taking a bathroom break after this. The bladder calls and the coffee calls too. Oh, one of the other cool things about only eating once a day, I was saying, like, there he is. Sleep's really good. Lot deeper. Obviously the weight thing, but my coffee hits harder for pretty obvious reasons, right? Is this damage? Loss of life. Okay, just double checking. We're going to have to lean on these strands pretty good here. Especially if they pull off a lifelink sort of issue here. It's funny they're playing Grey Merchant too. Well, they must have been sitting on that and just being like drawing land after land and then spell after spell, and just it's like, come on, I want my Gary to pay off. If you don't know, we made the Gary mask on the show right when COVID hit. That was it's fun. Remember doing that, and then COVID became a thing. All right, no strands in the yard, so if they've got like a unexpected fangs, it will be quite unexpected of us to play Prismatic Strands. Smack! This is a pretty low life total here, so Fumes would really be brutal here. Okay, they have that. I kind of like that play. Lets me now that they're hellbent, you know. Dreamer Stingo says, I've read that ancient Greeks did not eat a meal to begin the day as we eat breakfast. Yeah, it's incredibly easy to. I usually would skip breakfast or have it very late. And like I said, I would intermittent fast all the time anyway, like a 4 to 6 hour window. And I just kicked it up a notch just to see. I didn't see a podcast or have any sort of craziness happen. I just was like, all right, Strands, I love you, but I think 3 is going to be enough here. We were really going to have to lean on it there. We love this. I'm not going to want looting much. If you're going to cut one card from this list, I would cut one looting early on, unless you have a very flooded hand. It's nice to go find the combo and throw strands in the yard, but... All right, let's bring in the crypts. I don't think we're going to need too much of anything else. So this Destroy Evil's interesting. I don't want to just be chittering rats to death, though. I think I'll do that. Maybe bring in Missionary. I think I've got enough here. I'm just going to roll it like this. Just do a once over. Yeah, I don't... I'd rather lean on Strands for Angler. If they get a early one, I'll probably feel pretty bad about that, but maybe one. I just don't want to have it maroon in my hand if a chittering rat shows up, you know. Then I have no target, or even a journey you can cast it in a nothing. This I shouldn't fear chittering rats that much. Flies in the face of what I just said about it not being that good, but maybe I should reconsider, right? Woo! All right. I have appeased the crowdlings. Loving that Tormod's Crypt. Man, that is stark. The god from back in the day. That's what it should say. I'm so glad the construction is... I'm not kidding when I was walking into the studio to start the show... They started. You know, it's like a law out here. You can't start construction until, you know, right at 9 a.m. And it was like 8:58, and it's like, and then just this, and all this, the whole house was shivering. I was just like, oh my God. This is one of the problems with always being a consecutive streamer on a Saturday morning is that. But all right, so they submit. We shall go to some Innistrad trivia. I'm going to go to the bathroom, suggest you do the same, and I'll be right back right after this. We'll keep this. Start off with a crag. Sure learn a lot about land masses. My neighbor's is a cartographer, and so sometimes I'll bring up magic lore cards, and she's like, "Oh, you know quite a bit about just topography and all." And I was like, "Well, actually, I'm leaning a little bit on the game I like, and I'm always talking about." Did debate. Thanks for the love. All right. Goblins. We should be all right. Famous last words, says everybody ever. Nice to see just old school goblins. Oh my gosh, we just fall into it. That's pretty great. Do I tribe first? No, we're going to synth. Well, do I want to just bolt first? I think I'm going to wait on the synth. Let me bolt first. Then I'll den. Then if we need a land next turn, we'll be able to hit it. Might just be safe here and have game. Problem for red here. One discard and it gets out of just about every trap. Need our invitation to show up, right? Oh, come on. Gonna have another show like that. All right. We won't even count that one, guys. Let's remember not to play that person. Boop, boop, boop. Let's try this one. Yeah, awfully quick show if we counted that, right? Like I said, last league I took this to was on the stream if you want to look back in the videos, and we did go 4-1 with it. Oh, the hand that has everything but lands. Whoa, mulligan. We'll keep this pretty slow. Not sure what we're up against. I'll get rid of the looting here. So much red in the format. Sometimes I like to keep strands over looting early on. Hey, Zoyuska Jones. Big fan. I played Breathless Night deck earlier. Oh, good. Awesome games. That was fun. Glad we got to play, and I'm happy you chatted there. First time chatter. Woo! Okay, well, maybe we can't really hit anything else. I'm just afraid of a fairy here, but I'm actually going to, considering the tribe play of it, it really leads to nothing. I'm just going to bring out the bridge. So we've got a lightning bolt answer for fairies if that is what we are facing here. Why does it take some of you so long to chat? Say hi. Yeah, Dreamer Stingo, the original one did have one rally main, and I think that's the right number. I could count on 2 fingers the number of times I played it. It was one of those, you know. Well, we risk getting spell snared here or whatever that card is, but I'm going to try it just in case we find something good. I got another one behind it. We don't care. All right. This is probably the poison list. And that's why you always play your land first, boys and girls. Woo! We'll turn off their plans real quick. The good thing about the poison list, if this is what they're playing, with the Viresis, the Infect Counter Proliferate style deck, is they don't run any removal. It's all about gaining life, so we have to watch out for a weather, but oh, there it is. My original one had that too, and it probably saved their game that turn. But again, it's just, I don't mind losing tribe when I don't have the combo in hand. It just kind of feels like, like you got rid of a good removal spell. Aren't they all? Well, let's see if we can do the thing. What's the thing? Everybody knows the thing, but if you're a new player, you might not. I'm going to bring back the synthesizer for just gross advantage here. Whatever tips over, we're going to play. Cool. We'll wait on that next turn. We still draw a card. Where was my wedding invitation earlier? Not that it would have helped because Veraska tore up our wedding invitation. Wow. So one thing I did at the last minute was add that one basic mountain because I was starting to, sometimes these synth draws can get obscene and you need enough red sources. Kind of sucks to wait a turn on that crag, but all right, so this is Proliferate. Infect. I know once Sided Rankin got a 5-0 with that, now everybody's like, oh, you can play that? It's like, well, 4-1 plenty of times before that, mine included. It's like when you keep winning free lottery tickets. Yeah, that's exactly what it's like, Dreamer Stingo. That's a really good analogy. You're like, I bought a ticket, and then it says, this gives you another ticket. And you're like, oh, all right. We'll do that then. Draw 2 cards. We are infected at 3. Not enough damage. We haven't seen any of the trickery with prisms or Everflowing Chalice. A lot of ways to go with that. All right, we are not going to need... I'd rather draw 2 cards than 1, so I'm going to loot away our strands. Hawk's okay. And a synth. This is embarrassing to have to get rid of a synth, but That's kind of how things are rolling out here. All right, we'll drop the crag. Not that we need the life. This will be very interesting. Well, good thing. I mean, we played this for 2 weeks straight, different versions of it. About proliferate infect it's kind of inevitable. There's no real way around it. Do this so that our card quality percentages go up. Boink. Attack. For only 2. We're not going to get there. I think we're going to have our first game loss right now. This game 1, but hopefully we'll get there. Yeah, it's like, how do you... That's why I always tried to make Creatureless Infect before the last set came out. It's just like, there's no way around that if you can get it to work. Yeah, I foresee that deck being... Moving forward, I think it's going to move into the upper tiers as the sets keep coming out and you get more and more ways to abuse. There it is. Mtmentat Prism. Card we're really fearing here is Weather the Storm. We just and like many decks, you just can't do too much when that works. So all of their stuff's going to be pretty free here moving forward, as long as they got the proliferate going on. I love me some Tribe. That threat of a turn 2 kill is just so delicious. A lot of formats don't have a turn 2 kill. Pauper does. And this is it. You can go all in with the Azoria style, which everybody's seen plenty of times. Oh boy. We just have too many cards in our hand right now. I'll play a synth. Not quite sure what we're looking for other than maybe the combo again. All right. Almost rather have a red source here. I'm going to just let that go. I don't want white. So that's another way to play synth. It's like, go away. I don't need to draw you. I'll try another one. Looting's pretty cool. I'll play this land. And then attack into nothing. This was a red-based list. I would have played the Hawk there first so that we had a prismatic option if they do snag our attacker. My very first builds of Creatureless Infect did have Vraska's Fall. I don't think it's wrong. It's just it's making me a little nervous playing Tribe because usually you got a freebie. You only have to worry about Weather the Storm. Yeah, that's a good call, and thank you for that. We'll bring in our Artifact Hate because that's something I might have forgotten. Wow, cast down. Okay, I think I might just... no, we got to keep the plan online. As far as... I was thinking of losing the combo game too, but... I mean, they need 3 mana. If we get a lucky draw, it can be brutal. I don't mind losing even the Faithless here. God, Synthesizer's so good. We'll say yes just to be irritating. Okay. I really wonder if you went back in time, like I started playing around the dark, and if you just snuck in Experimental Synthesizer into the booster packs back then. Obviously adjust the artwork and stuff, but I think it would be lost on a lot of people. Eventually it would have been found out, but I can't, for you newbies out there, old schoolers like me, Magic was so slow on the uptick to where anybody was even a good player. It was just, little flavors, or I like the way this looks and I'm going to make this deck around, this crazy card. And interesting times. At least that was my experience. It's a good year and a half into it before people started getting reputations as like, oh yeah, they consistently make mean decks. And it was usually not to boast, but about me. All right, we're dead. Vivisurgence Insight. That's got some great art to it. Yeah, you get that Breathless Night deck. Oh man, pulling out all the stops. That's actually a pretty good meta call with all the tokens running around. So, all right. I think we would have been dead if they just had more focus to their list. We will synth. Don't need that. I really want to find my tribe combo here. I think that's really our only. We're already at 5 infect. Ugh. Get rid of a crag. We don't need it. Get rid of a hawk. We'll play out a hawk in case they do have another Vraska and we do top deck. You know what? But man, our hand's so empty. It's not really going to have much food for tribe, right? I'll have to start popping those synthesizers. And by popping, I should have said kept it singular. I've already seen that going decay. Although I don't imagine you'd run more than 2 of those main. If not, maybe just 1. Where'd my chat go, guys? Everybody got quiet. Sappers and Scary. What did these start at and what did they get to? Does anybody know? There's the free spell when you have these 2 out. Thank you for that, Chimpskey. Pretty good artwork, too. I might lean on if he's that worried about tokens, might lean on Fester Creep with this style. You can keep reusing it. How's that for a deep dig, right? Of course, I did show that off back on the first Proliferate list. Played a lot of Proliferate this year. Dreamer Stingo says, I remember when new players realizing the power of Zuran Orb. Oh, yeah. That's right. Or Zuran Orb and then Balance. Ugh, it was so brutal. All right. Well, this just got a little bit better. Let's do this first. We'll be bringing back a synthesizer. I actually like Mill a lot. It's just people get the wrong impression of what I like, dislike, good, bad at. It's just for streaming. I just very rare. Done it a few times. You'll see me like a couple weeks back. What played like a teachings list or whatever, but that's pretty few and far between when I'm streaming. But I'm just enjoying a glass of wine, playing. Sometimes you'd be surprised how slow or control-ish I can get. Yes, okay, I'm talking too much. Here we go. This is when things get gross, but we might be dead here. Well, I guess we'll play it. It's probably better to just bolt, but we still have that option. White border Ratlock. Yeah, you'll never see me playing that. If you see that, then somebody's hacked my account. Call the police. When we play pickleball, the little park wardens come by, and I always call them the pickle police because y'all know me in alliteration. It'd be a fun name for a band. What do we got? What do we got? More removal. Wow, they're going old. That's my original Creatureless Infectless from like 7 years ago when I was brewing it. I had to lean on Grim Affliction, but that's interesting. Well, it does get them a infect there. And our creature does die if they remember how to pull off Grim Affliction, right? Yep, they know what they're doing. Now we're at 8. And they look at 3 cards. It's so intimidating at this point of infection. The prism just keeps getting better. Are we just dead on board? We probably are. Nice to see this list lose. Famous last words. I better be quiet. I'll go on some big losing streak if I tempt the magic gods. A lot of times I like to showcase really creative lists, or if you have one, or a lot of you have had me play them and such. But it's fun to kind of mush the two together, right? All right, we're dead to that. We'll go to sideboarding, and you know, that's another thing. There's not that many artifacts. I think they've gotten rid of the other plan, but we're gonna need it. We don't care at all about this. There's no enchantments we're really afraid of. It's not really a graveyard we're afraid of. It's almost like we have to bring in Dust to Dust just to not have dead cards, right? It's a good thing about when you do have Faithless Looting, when you get in these kind of matchups where you're like, oh, I don't have all that much. It's like, well, for everything that you don't like, you can just pitch it. We're not worried about life gain at all. Just look over my list here real quick. I don't need to cut anything, really. I don't want an invitation to go 99, because there might be a situation where there's only one artifact, and I can do, because you have to target 2 things, so I want to keep my artifact count up, and also it's our out if they do have Weather the Storm, but this build just looks like it's leaning on removal more. I think I'm just going to roll like this, guys. Hiya. And they all of a sudden they have like Kermag anglers and stuff. You're like, wait, what? A switcheroo. That'd be pretty hard to do a switcheroo on that style. Yes. Okay, well, everything showed up. That's pretty nice. I'll keep this. How scary is that? Oh, come on. Can we just draw right into a turn 2 win? Gotta love that. All right. Play this and this. The scariest first turn in almost all of Magic, I would argue. And yes, you could be running about face. If anybody wants to bring that up in chat, I'd appreciate it. That's Inside Out's little brother. Very good against wall decks. I'm sure if I said at the top of the show, this deck's bad against walls, we would have faced nothing but walls. But we want to see walls with this list because Inside Out's a nice kill card and you draw a card. Well, we didn't get there. Do we want to go find it immediately? What's the play here? Hey, yo, fill up the hand first. Look for the card first. Let's look for the win. All right. Well, we don't need this or this. I'll get rid of these 2. We'll fill up our hand next turn and hope for the best. Hiya! Yeah, Tron lands. Those are slowly creeping back up in the challenges. I'm starting to see Tron show up. At this stage during Stingo, I like that play too, but I'm just ultra concerned with trying to just combo off here and stealing a game. But this is probably Vraska's. Yep, nice. Well, they got it. All right. Well, we'll refill our hand and start up again. Maybe we just top deck a tribe again. Ooh, that peat bog is getting danger. This is when they're so vulnerable. All right. Yeah, let's fill up our hand. Let me play the land here. Try to play some correct magic, right? Yes. I do not think we're going to get there with a bunch of hawks, but it's nice to have one out. Would have been nice early on, given that we saw the early tribe, but that's not how math works. It goes 1-2, not 2-1. Another basic. Contentious plan. Always forget. Don't see Vraska's fall in these lists very often, so I'm like, oh, good, we're not infected yet. I'm like, oops, yeah, we are. Peat Bog's back in action. Come on, show me a prism. I'll nix one of my own lands to get rid of that thing. Another time when Revoke Existence might be the better call, right? Obviously, we're going to attack, but see, now I'm considering the Faithless Looting. What do you guys think? I guess we should probably try to get some more threats out. Yeah, let's just get some threats out. Let me get the... I'll lose some tempo here. Let me Skyfish into nothing, but I just want a beater on board here. Return this. Play it again. Well, in case we already saw Echoing Decay, so let's at least guarantee we're going to get in for one here. I want to get enough damage on the board where they can't just, combo off and ignore us. Unless Tribe shows up, we're not hitting all that hard, so nope. Who's another streamer you recently found that you enjoy? Not necessarily MTG. Oh, that's pretty much all I watch. I've seen chess once in a while. I don't know anybody's name by hand though. Obviously, Sid Rankin. If you go to our community tab, I think it is, or is it our? There's something on YouTube where there's streamers, but I've always been a fan of Chid3, but he's so sporadic. He won't play for like 8 months at a time, and then I try to help out his show and give him some love, and his numbers go up, and then he supports it by not playing anymore. It's weird. He's a quirky guy. I really like him. It lives at least till the next infection. Yep. Yeah, the loading list, and he's the. If you ever see a Black Rogue deck, he's the creator of that too. A lot of people don't remember to give him credit for that. God, we are just not winning. I mean, we got like everything that looks good, but I want to trim the fat here. I'm gonna loot these Hawks. I don't even think they're worth casting in this matchup. Well, boy, that red source. I know I worked out the mana. This is just feeling really clunky. We'll get rid of one of these and one of these. Play the land. Attack for 2. At least Vraska's fallen. I'll be silly, right? Yeah, his videos just crack me up. It's just, like I said, it's just goofy. Sometimes, like he'll when he cuts to something, it's just like, what on earth? Like he had some like ultraviolet like ape just walk across the screen one time. It was like, what is this? I'm such a perfectionist and always like my videos to be all like, he's like the complete opposite. So it was kind of like nice visual medicine for me. I was like, oh, all right. Yep. Skyfisher's dead now. If I killed my creature in response to that, I think the proliferate would still go off. That's always where I get foggy with the magic rules. He might have that counter spell right here. How dead is dust to dust, but we don't really care. It's we know we're probably going to have to nix a land to make it pay off, but we will try. All right. I think I'm going to bolt first. He's more likely, if this is a counter, to counter the Glint Hawk, so let's do this here. I like that word, alas. Yes. Something says attack first. Oh, good to know, Chimpskey. Of course, now we've already seen 2, so it's unlikely they've got another, but they might. I'll keep the bolt back knowing that, though, because we are at 4 infect here. Alrighty. Play Skyfisher. I'm just going to bring back a Ancient Den or something, right? We'll bring this back because it's the prettiest one, and we can look at it even more. That's my theory. Woo! It'd be neat if I can keep up this new ritual and diet. I guess you'd call it a diet, right? Everybody's got one. That's just how I'm rolling this week. It'd be neat if I'd look on the video and see my face slowly thin a little bit. True evidence, right? But I highly recommend any of you, if you don't care at all. Well, that's the wrong thing to say. I think the healthiest thing you can learn, back when I did lose like, gosh, almost 35-ish pounds or something. This was like 2 years ago, and kept it off. But for the most part, I mean, I've gone up a little bit, but nowhere near where I was. But the most healthy habit you can get into is religiously weighing yourself every morning. Just get up, go to the bathroom, get naked, get on the scale. Just start every single day like that. You just can't. And then there's so many free apps that just track your weight, and you can just, see it over time. Very, very good ritual to get into. So I'm sure many of you blink and a little time goes by and you're like, oh my God. If you don't get on a scale but 1 or twice a year, you're like, wait, when did this all happen? Let's So you've been expanding your horizons. Okay. Man, we just don't have enough. Thank God for lightning bolts. I am so glad I'm not running journeys. As he drops an angler. Return the prettiest land, depriving the opponent of the opportunity to enjoy it. 5D chess. To giving too much credit. Dreamer Stango, it's a selfish play. Out of the blue last week. Sun was feeling a little down. And just went out and bought 5 boosters, or 10 boosters, just to make our own little draft night. He beat me 2-1 each game. There were super close games. We had 2 Kamigawa, like Brothers War, and then Innistrad. It was just fun. Good times. All right, we'll play a tribe, sure. Or do I want to trip it? Yeah, we'll play tribe. Bloop. Do I keep it in hand? Need the land. I'll just attack here. Maybe should have held on to that land. I don't know. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool, Dreamer Stingo. Just bring it in, game 2. Of course, the second the list goes viral, people will be like, I'm on to this. But then it's like, really? What do you keep in hand, right? Or you would think maybe the proliferate bird. What's that thing called? That might go pretty far. All right, we're at 7. They're drawing cards. 4 to R2. Our Dust to Dust plan for the Prism has not shown any fruition. Thrumming Bird, that's it. Always seems good, and you always end up cutting it, in my experience. Whoa, that's some deep tech. That is brutal against Tribe. And obviously awesome with Proliferate. I was playing that in the very first list I showed you guys, remember? Yeah, Tireless Tribe's worst nightmare is that card. But you got to get to turn 4 first. All right, I think we're going to eat our own den here. Dust to Dust that arrows. We got no chance. We really need to draw our other bolts here. Okay. I'll keep... Oh boy, do we just get stuff on? I got to get rid of that. We'll blow that up in this. We have to choose 2 targets, unfortunately. That's how we roll. And just get another critter out. Let's put our foot on the gas. We'll trip the synth and just hope for the best. We're at 7. We're just looks like our first loss of the day. Nope. Let's attack. Impressive that they're able to do all this without Weather the Storm back up, but I guess if you just filter in a bunch of removal. If I exile the synth, I don't think you draw the card, right? Doesn't have to go to the graveyard. Enters or leaves. I guess that counts as leaving, right? Yeah, if that's the case. Nim, do you know that? If I dust to dust a synth, does it still go off? As long as I play this game, I always read rules a little funky, so I always need the guided hand. Oh, no. Probably they don't need it, though. They've only got 1 card in hand, and it is not a proliferate spell, I think, so we might get there. I would think it makes it leave the battle. I got to follow my hunches more. You're right. So Dreamer Stingo, I do believe that was the right play. So a little mini punt there. I have not read the spoiler of the new card tap. Don't be a bolt. Don't be a bolt. I want the bolt to be drawn naturally, especially when I get... Okay, that's cool. I ain't going to complain about that. We'll play this. Bring back the Furnace, I guess, and then play this Crag. Okay. Yes. We'll play this. Not that we need life, but... Creatures online. They need removal and proliferate. Problem is they can get both. They have like prologue, something like that. I was hoping this was just a hollow draw that they had, like land, nothing else, but shoot. Well, that's an interesting choice. I would have gone after the samurai there, given that it's going to hit you this turn. Or is it? No, I just tripped it this turn, didn't I? Weird. It's showing The animation for, yeah, it has, when I zoom in on it, the animation goes away for, hey, this has summoning sickness. Oh no, Ultra Volcarine, don't tell me that. Ah, I hate Planeswalkers. Planeswalkers, to me, are like those, what were those lands that came, they were like areas you could play, and they sat sideways, and they were just a big flop. Like, marketing was probably just got scolded for it. I know they brought back something similar to it, but it just feels like that. It's like, how can we make the game slower and worse? More to the machine. Come on. Oh, there goes most of our team. Does he have like Vraska right behind this? That'd be brutal. Can we just top deck a lightning bolt? Any sort of draw card into another bolt. Come on, let's get there. Close game. I got a little lightheaded yesterday right before my meal because I had coffee on an empty stomach for a little bit too much, and whew, potent stuff. Coming on in. Hey. They know we have a furnace, so I'm just going to play it. In case we do like have the option, if we do draw a loot, we can loot into a bolt, hopefully. It's a nail biter. We're at 8 infect. I got plenty of ways out of this. So many other cards, you know, proliferate and draw, so we might be dead here. This is when you really want them to just force a land draw, right? Plane chase, that was it. That was it. I think. You use resolve as a criteria on the battle, turns it into a creature spell. I'll have to read that when I have more time. Do we just bring in creatures here? Ignore the dust to dust plan? That felt pretty clunky. We don't need these, but they are a 2-body, so we're just going to go all out aggro here. Yeah, let's do that. Submit. Lost win. Can we pull it off? Little Fiend. I thought that was a little fight for a second there. Almost there. That feels pretty good. Obviously keeping this. I'm going to get him real nervous. What should we do? What should we do? Oh, yeah, I have read about battle. That's right. I remember not liking it. You resolve the criteria on the battle, and it turns into a creature or a spell. Okay. I'm just going to get our mana right here. Played that differently if I had Inside Out in hand, obviously. I mean, just hope that you top deck a mountain, but they seem to have Vraska early and often. If we don't hit a land here, I'll probably Hawk Tribe. We did hit a land. I still think I'm going to do that. What to do. Yeah, I think that's the best version here. We'll play the Hawk first. Return the Den. Clunky, but we get around Vraska. And we still have the option to top deck, you know what? Inside Out. Alright. No, I don't like Invitation. This deck, I've got to be able to just keep my foot on the gas and be able to kill them in one shot if we draw right. Looting feels pretty good there. Invitation's just a... Thank God it draws a card, otherwise it'd be another dead card in this matchup. I want to keep my foot on the gas. We barely won last game, just eking out tiny bits of damage, so every little turn helps, especially early on here. We have not been infected yet. That's the good news. Usually they got us by now. Question is, if we do get Vraska's Fall into here, It's a tough choice. And we don't have to worry about till next turn. To which I... Echoing Decay's got me nervous. The aggro on me wants to just drop that other Glint Hawk and just start swinging for 5 a turn. I'm sure that won't last long. Oh, that doesn't feel good. I'm going to loot first. Just because I drew that Hawk, I can at least throw one back. All right, this makes it very easy. Got it. Sometimes I just love that card. So cool. All right, let's just get our mana right. That was a frustrating double Hawk draw. I was like, oh, come on. You should have got rid of him first. Yeah, it's easy with hindsight. Come on, come on. Let's go. Time to get infected, I would imagine. Oh, I miss you, Dust to Dust. That's a lot of removal. Don't think we're getting out of this one now. Proliferate gets online with the serrated arrows. That was a weird choice. Well, they got no respect. Come on, let's top deck it and make them pay for it. And set out. Mental energy. Focus on the card. Yeah! Shiraz, you remember when we did that for the show a while back where we had that positivity focus show and like everybody got kind of creeped out? It was a long time ago, like maybe our 10th stream or something that it went down like that. All right. We're just going to prove to them that you better pick on Tribe. Hiya! Don't have what? Disfigure. A lot of stuff. I guess we don't need to get rid of that, but I'm going to. Yeah! Woo! Take that. There's a punt. Let that be a lesson to you kids out there, right? All right. More Innistrad trivia, more bathroom, more coffee. Be right back, guys. Just a minute.
Luxacoff's Wild Mongrel Bubblegum. Blows colored bubbles. Changes colors while you chew. Discard your old brand for something new.
The Luxacoff's Wild Mongrel Bubblegum. It's yummy.
And we're back. Woo! Alrighty. Let's do this. Boink. Everybody get the trivia right? Oh, I think we can keep this because of the looting and synth. We'll say keep. Famous last words. Saying that too much today, but we do have the combo in hand, so that feels pretty good. Let's see. Well, we can't play land this turn, so it's pretty obvious we tribe here. I mean, we loot. Okay. Well, that's an embarrassment. Let's, we already have that. I guess we'll get rid of this and give away our entire hand here. It's like, what are they on? Huh. If that synthesizer doesn't work out turn 2, this is going to be pretty grim. Gates. I play Kobayas Ticklebush all the time. I know them not to be a quitter, so I wanted to jump in this matchup. Come on, list. I added a land. We have like 4 outs here. Okay. Oh, no. Ayukara's in the house. All right. Woo. 3 months already. Thank you for that, my friend. Much appreciated. The cat's out of the bag. Our plan's turned inside out. Okay, I won't complain too much about that. It's tough to say no to the tribe combo and right out of the gates. All we needed was a plane. And that's the other thing. That's the preponderance of lists. Lands that we have in this list are white sources, so I was figuring, oh, we'll hit that. Faithless Looting. Draw. Synthesizer. Still nothing. Right against the gates. Whoa. No life gain, please. Okay. That's interesting. Ah, man. Yeah, I'm just going to tribe here. That was just a plane. I could return it and do the little Skyfisher trick, but let's just go for the win here, guys. Damage ain't going to do it. An edict will. I didn't know that it did, Ayukara. Ultratron won the... Yeah, I told you guys. Trons are coming. Get metagames stagnant long enough, everybody starts playing with the deck that can do everything. You give it that... What was that new spell that replaced the Prism? Is some cases better. I rolled my eyes pretty hard at that. That's pretty cool. Refractor, that's the one, yep. Yeah, just like Tortured Existence and Paper, it can actually finish pretty early in tournaments. Thank you, Chimpskey. Daska. Oh, no. That one hurts because we've got the combo, right? We don't have the wedding invitation, though, so no matrimony over here. Can at least synth the engine in and out, right? Oh my God. Okay. Refocus. What to do? I guess we just Skyfish in. Maximize our mana here. Hopefully we hit a land. We've already tossed one Skyfisher to the Faithless Looting earlier. Boink. Come on, hit a land. All right. Man, this strange game. All our land must be in one big clump because this does not have land issues usually. Running a very moderate to conservative 20. When I won the tournament with this, I had 19 lands, but the Karoo lands helped that feel a little bit better. But like I said, ramp wasn't really a thing. The second I take out my indestructible lands in any multicolor list, that's when that first turn Arbor Elf shows up. And I get very sad very quickly. Oh, they might be hurting for lands too, it looks like. That's a pretty interesting move. 3 mana, draw a card. 4 mana, really? Yeah, that's a good point too. All right, we'll synth first. Land, please. Good grief. I think we play Squadron Hawk. Return the Furnace. No, I guess we just pull back the Yeah, do I want to hit a land drop more? I think I do. I guess no. Well, both of them do that. So we'll play this. Bring back the synth. Hopefully we hit a land. Yes, please. Just tempted to do it the other way. Hey, it worked. Just going over me options. That's all. Well, at least they know we weren't bluffing. Seeing that the exile zone with inside out. Making all kinds of clues. Get a clue, man. I'm going to have a 3-2 Skyhawk or Skyfisher if I have anything to say about it. J101. Good to hear from you. Thanks for chiming in. Looks like we're both kind of hitting these little clunky, little uncomfortable zones with our lists, trying to iron things out. They have the inevitability. I guess we do too in a little lesser way, but we've got the fireworks if Tribe shows up again. But journey. Okay, well, this will be a gates. No, that was for that. This is enchantment. Enchantment hate. Okay. What's neat too is we can inside out the Skyfisher and the Glint Hawk can kill it. Yeah, let's do that because it'll draw us a card. Or should we just draw one first? Let's bring out the synth. All right. I'm going to smash in here. They probably know what we're up to with inside out. We'll swap this guy's stats here. Boink, boink. Draw a card. Hey, we did it. Cool. Get in for some damage. Play the Hawk. My spidey senses say return the synth, and at this stage we don't really need a land. Whatever we do here is lost. Let's hope it's a land. It is a Glint Hawk. Okay, that hurts a little bit. Not too bad. It's worth the tempo, I say. Sacred cats in the yard, that's a thing. I'm considering next turn, if we hit a land, I might invitation, but I think I'm going to loot synth just to try to get Prismatic in the yard so that that life gain doesn't let him come back, because they're only at 16, and that's going to be a problem really quick. Anybody come up with a better name than White Wedding? Oh, always 4 with that, Dreamer Stingo. Sometimes this list feels so synergistic, obviously with the synth, but you know, you get that tribe and you have to keep it alive against like burn, and then you drop a Squadron Hawk, refill your hand, and just win. Yeah, serves a lot of masters. I play him a bit more loose now that I've lost the Rally the Peasants angle. He didn't bring out the life gainer. Interesting. Still gonna synth here. Yoop. All right. Let me Hawk before damage. I was really expecting that Sacred Cat's coming out of the yard. I'll return this. Let's keep getting some value here. All right, there's a bolt. It feels pretty good. Now I've got some good defense, right? I have to play it now, though, so that kind of sucks. I'll just shoot him in the face. Bonk. I don't really care about the Squadron Hawk. Attack! I was expecting a Prismatic Strands of their own there. Bye-bye, Skyfisher. Got him on about a 3-turn clock here. Get a little bit of help. Not sure why. Oh, okay. I see why they did it now. Definitely enchantment hate. We'll bring in the Dawnbringers and that card I can never remember the name of. Patrician Scorn. Remind me, please. Might have to use Wedding Invitation on our Skyfisher here. Good news, we've got quite a bit of card draw coming up. Probably going to grab the looting. I know I would. That scares me a little bit just because they have life and we have Prismatic to combat it. So good call. Go bias. Tickle bush. I want them to start swinging. Ooh, that's a lot of gates. Talk about a 2-turn clock. We're on one. At some point, they got to pull the trigger, right? Any interest in baseball? My wife really likes baseball. I'm not too into it. I do. Sometimes I just like to have it on in the background when she has it on. It makes the weekend feel long and such. And I like playing it a lot, but yeah, I don't really follow it. And I know that they've sped things up, though, which is, God, greatly needed. Those gates are swinging for the fences. That's here, like mirroring Pauper Tim there, Dead Debate. Or Dreamer Stingo, I'm sorry. All right, let's draw some cards. There's probably Squadron Hawk here. Eliminate that option, but okay, I like that. It's no secret what we're doing here, right? We've already done that trick to them. Disciplinary wise, I just want to get this out, and so I don't top deck it or, you know, draw it off of a synth play. Let's attack. Bummer. Will they fall for it again? I don't know if that's the right phrasing of what they're doing here. Maybe it's a necessity at this point. We will flip the Skyfisher stats. Get in good. Crunch. It's like a Chinese riddle or something. When does a Glint Hawk take down a Skyfisher? When it sees it inside out. Yeah, I haven't seen a game yet, but I've heard good things, Dead Debate, so I'd probably root for any team that has Halloween colors, like the San Francisco Giants. Whenever there's a sport I don't know anything about, that's usually where I'll go. Oh, did you used to beat him, Chimpskey, and then you just kind of fell out of favor? UFC is always it's so hard to not like. It's just such a human condition when you see combat. Like there's a comedian, I forget who it was, but they were saying like, it might have been Dana White, I'm not sure, but you could be at any event, football, Super Bowl, whatever, and if a fight breaks out, guess where the attention goes? And so I always think UFC has an edge on that. Something very primal. We're going to take a lot. We better get our Prismatic online here. We're halfway through our list. We've definitely drawn enough cards off of our synth here, but gonna have to bolt the fish. Now to stay alive, I might just have to. They've got double gate here. Oh, that's a really good pull. Let's synth first, though. Hawk's nice. Hawk and the synth, yes. Back. Okay. So much clicking. Don't know if I want to play that right now. Let's loot. It does have a Dawnbringer back in hand. I guess we can give him some options here. Let's loot. Ah, boy, I really, really, really wanted to hit something that isn't this. I'll get rid of Hawk. Synth. Play the land we have. Maybe things will improve here. I want to keep that up or out. 3 blockers, 3 blockers. I don't think we can win this game. Really have to find where are our Prismatic Strands? Good grief. It's like the rest of our deck right now. I think we'll keep Bolt up just to win face. They're at 11, we're at 11. Yikes. High school I played football, soccer, watched a lot of different sports since I got interested in other things. Yeah, if you don't enjoy it, that's obviously that goes with anything though. I'm just thankful my wife and I we just have so many shared interests. Obviously pickleball's top among them lately. It's a great fun way to stay in shape as you get older, and it's not really a sex dominant sport. I don't know if we should go for this play or just kill the Skyfisher play. I think kill the Skyfisher might be the more right. We don't have all that many critters though, and we don't have this online. I'm gonna kill it. He's using both gates too, so I'll buy us a turn. I'm gonna have to trip one of these synths just to get a body out there. Yeah, we need Graveyard Hate too. Yeah, if we don't get them early, this is, you know, this is when a Gates deck shows up, and inevitability. A lot of times I'm not too worried about Gates with other builds, but this isn't one of them. We can feign like we're keeping up with the synthesizer plays and stuff, but if we don't get our combo online, it gets scary quick. Boy, I'm so patient with that Sacred Cat. Be my first play, get that thing out and start gaining life. Okay. Let's synth. Bolt shows up. I like that. Got to use it now though, so that kind of blows a little bit. We'll get rid of that good creature. Of course, they've just got Omen in hand, but just trying to slow him down. I should have pointed that at face. That was dumb. Dumb. Make a critter. Three planes. I'm not too wild about that. Probably just drop the bridge here. Yeah, just double checking this required red to activate. We'll drop an invitation. I'll just get out a red source here. Yuck. Come on, looting. Show up. And determine Omen and all that. That was a really bad play of mine. I should have bolted right to the face. Yep. I know they added it in hand. It's just, you know, you get on that, like, looking at my clock and being like, oh man, game 2 and 3 is going to be pretty long, and then get a little distracted. Boy, I tell you, everybody in my professional circle, their layoffs are just happening everywhere. It's like almost everyone I know is out of a job. Thankfully, I am still in. I couldn't activate it without a red source. I was thinking and trying. How big is this? Big enough. I'll get in front of it. Doink. Wow, we have 4 Prismatic Strands and 21 cards. We should be seeing it pretty soon. Problem is, outside of a bunch of wedding invitations, we're not going to be able to get in. Omen's keeping them very healthy. Bring back the cat. I guess they're just going to hard cast it after they get it back with Omen. Yeah. Oh, okay. Or just play another one. Yeah, I don't want to hit strands off the synth. That is correct. We're not going to have much of a choice. Let me bring back looting. This is when looting really shines. Your deck's just like, screw you. And you're like, oh yeah, look at this. Okay. We still have not hit it. I think making a critter is probably the better play here. Let's no synth. I just don't want to hit Prismatic here. Good. Okay. Guess I might as well play it. Well, let's trip it first. Get a body. Ah, god dang it. It's exiled too. Remember that synergy I was talking about? That's one of the times it doesn't work. All right. Well, not doing anything in my hand. I'll play it and blog with it. I guess we could go crazy scenario and draw another Inside Out. 3 strands to go. 3 and 16, folks. And that Skyfisher patrol is clogging up the skies. Yeah, this is where they win. Double cat activation. They get their life's too high. I mean, I don't know why I'm waiting for them to do it. I guess just for drama's sake, right? Ooh, that's kind of painful. Gets rid of that, doesn't it? Boink. There goes a whole lot. I wouldn't have used the gate for that. Gosh. Of course, I don't know what's in their hand. Target the cat. I just concede. Okay. You got me. Can't get out of that one. That's an L. Still haven't lost a match. I mean, a game. Is it game or match? I always get that wrong. Would have been nice for you to show up, Prismatic. All right. Crypt's coming in. Dawnbringer's coming in. Patrician Scorn's coming in. Might even bring in a Destroy Evil just like a one of, maybe. Don't have to worry about the... yeah, and we could activate it with a gate, too. I think I bring in both. That Omen is just brutal. I think one's enough. All right, Chimpskey. Adios. Have a great weekend. I'm going to lose 2 looting. I'll get rid of 1 plan. It'd be fun if we flip Dawnbringer for the win. Hit him for 3. All right. Good answer. I'm going to lose a bolt. No. Oh, there's another invitation. No, that's how we can get in. Damn. Tough cut. I'm going to lose the Destroy Evil. Feels like I'm overboarding there. Okay. Are we headed for our first loss? We shall find out on the next exciting episode of Propaganda. Yeah. How you like that? How do you like that? Whoa. We'll keep this a little clunky here, but at least it's in our hand. We won't have to exile it this time. Pretty late game, not going to lie. The Synthesizer Tribe and our lands being okay is what made me keep this. Oh, I'm glad I got your faith there, Dreamer Stango. I haven't made a switcheroo deck in quite a while where your sideboard completely changes the game plan. It'd be fun to play like a Simic Fog list and then just have like a bunch of Hooting Mandrills and go like Jace's Phantasm and just go all in. I'm just going to get our mana right. Play this out. Here we go. Do we have it? Don't we have it? We might draw into it this way. There it is again. Good news, we got an end of turn trickery in a lot of our enchantment removal spells. Yeah, let's play the synth first. See if we hit a land. We do. Play this. Everything's online. Feeling pretty good, except we don't have any threats. Inspector. So weird. I've not eaten in 23 hours, and I'm not remotely hungry. My stomach's just getting used to this new ritual here. Okay, well that's a threat. I like that. Do we want to play synth first? I think so. Let's just synthesize our way out of any problems. Come on, give me something good. Ooh, that's pretty good. No, it isn't. What was I talking about? I guess you could just draw a card in a pinch, but there goes part of our plan. And we'll bring back a synth. Maybe a plane would be nice here. Faithless Looting. Okay, I can use that. Let's loot. Man, that's a lot of cards. Discard 2 cards. I've already got a synth. I'm going to keep 1 strand in hand and pitch a synth here. There we go. That was a lot of stuff. It's neat when you have turns like that. It's just like, look at this. I'm doing all this stuff. That's why you don't want to skimp on lands. You can always pitch them. You can't always play them. Uh-oh. What do they grab? Oh, excuse me. I should have been a little further from the mic there. I considered using a protection spell there, but with the cliff gate up, we've already seen a lightning bolt, so they just do it in response if they got it. No gates, so I'm not too worried about the cat. Nice that we have that. I think I'm going to leave Faithless in the yard here. Let's get the air power going unless the cavalry shows up. Well, that's pretty cool. Guess we just play a white spell and then cast that, right? Yes. We'll return this. Okay. Okay, Scorn. Tribe comes back. Do I really want that plane? I think I'd rather have another card. This might be a land too here. It is. I've got quite a few artifacts. I don't need them. I'm not playing Galvanic Blast. And just in case they got dust to dust or something, I'll play the plane here. So we have to. Otherwise I would have held it in my hand. Let's get these guys offline. I'll consider probably... I don't think we're going to see an attack from our opponent. What was that red card that he played where it does 1 damage? It's kind of one of those choose one or both. I always forget the name of that one. It's a lot like Destroy Evil. It just kind of snuck into the metagame. People are like, oh yeah, remember this? It's just weird when you don't see Electrickery. Smash to dust. Thank you for that, Deskar. Sounds like some kind of armor, your name. Guess I'm watching too much Star Wars. Deskar armor. The invitation is sent. All right, this is obviously a loot play here. Yep, bye-bye looting. The invitation is set. We are good. We don't have enough here, though. Ah, man, you bolt now, though, right? I will not play any of these. Trip this to draw. Yeah, we could play that now. Sure. Red to this. Boom, boom. That was kind of weird. We just drew it. Okay. Activate this to not be blockable. And win. Unless they had... No, they don't have any way to discard here, so we're good. We always had it. Sure. Boop. All right. Teach you to lean on Journey to Nowhere. That was a fun game. That one felt pretty synergistic. Play Gutshot, kids. I find some little like 2D animation, like old newspaper font, right? Let's go a little superstitious here. I'll put the Tormod's Crypt in between some cards and hope that does stuff. Prismatic, yeah, 3's good. I was considering bringing in a Lone Missionary just for another body, but I don't think that's good. Alrighty, Minty Face, love your YouTube. Thank you so much. First time I get a chance to catch you live. Oh, it's great to have you here. Thank you for joining us live. We had quite a few little technical issues. We almost didn't have a show today, but that's awesome to hear, and I'm very glad you like the channel. Okay, we got in a deep crap last time I kept a hand like this. So we're going to mulligan. It's so hard to say goodbye to everything you want. This puts it over the top for me. I don't need that till much later. We'll mulligan. Oh, come on, list. All right, we'll keep this. Talk about all or nothing, huh? I don't see why we would need a den. Done. Do we really want to scare the crap out of him to drop this turn one? Turn one. Yeah, you don't have that futuristic fast forward button when you watch us live, right? I'll be like, hey, how's this end? Speaking of sports events and stuff, that's, I think, one of the best holdouts for Against Technology is that live event feel. To your point earlier there in Chimpskey, but I'm getting bad at that too. Like especially UFC fights, I'll just wait till they're recorded now and go back, and it's frustrating. Sometimes all of a sudden you see like the fight's just a little like 2 minutes long. You're like, oh, this is an early knockout. It takes a little bit of the joy out of it that way. But there's a big UFC event next weekend. I'm getting so nervous for Adesanya. He has a boogeyman and it's scary. Okay, we'll synth here. All right, that's cool. That's why you do it first, folks. Let's see your Journey to Nowhere. Minty Face, I'm curious, how'd you find out about us? Did it just come up on YouTube randomly, or I always like to know that, or anybody else in the chat if you remember how you found out about Propaganda. Unfortunately, that's usually it. Just the algorithm suggests it. You click on it, and then hopefully you were awed and wowed. And I was playing cool spots there. We'll do it live. The Crag. I guess there is a universe where I could. No. I need that to go online. Let's invitation. And then we'll loot. Come on, draw the combo. That's pretty cool. Let's loot David Bowie style. Well, that's obviously a good option. We'll do that. I promise we'll start doing stuff next turn. The Pauper subreddit says Dead Debate. I play in Paper and I explicitly search for Pauper videos on YouTube. Cool. Good to know my spelling was correct. Although I did purposely misspell it on some of our tags to Popper, because when you speak into the like an Apple remote with speech, it never chooses it. Pauper is always Popper. I remember I did that like 3 years ago and my numbers went up quite a bit. I was like, oh, maybe a lot of people are searching that way. So if you start a channel or whatever, that's a good little sub tag to put on there. I first saw you on America's Most Wanted. Gate Creeper showing up. I should probably be paying attention to what he got, right? It's probably... Oh, no. They're just trying to fix their math. All right. What are they waiting on? It's waiting for us to go crazy here. Let's play Glint Hawk. Kill this real estate here. Boop. Returning. That's a pretty good pull right now. I like that. Yep. We're going to get our mana right. We're going to cast the Hawk, fill up our hand. Probably sit on the other ones and just pitch them to Tribe. Thinning out our probabilities. Yes. Feels like we're winning this one, but one little Sacred Cat can really change that. As long as Basilisk Gate stays hiding, we should be all right. Plus, it'd be nice to find our... So now hopefully you guys understand why I play Tormod's Crypt in this list with all this synthesized action going on. It's tough to pay one sometimes. You need Graveyard Hate, you need it. Well, that's a way to do it. I don't know why you wouldn't just play Cast Down. Sorry, I've always hated that card. It's color specific just because I've yet to hear an argument where, you know, you can just have Cast Down and like, especially with a gate list, you know, it's like double requirement. It's like, or make it easy on yourself. How long? Oh, go for it, Shiraz. Get on out of here, man. It's all good. Probably got one more round after this, so. Ooh, Dust to Dust, doing some work. I might have targeted Invitation there. I guess that's later on. Maybe he's got two. Maybe that's what they've been sitting on, right? Alrighty. Oh, man. Right when we needed it, huh? Well, we might still get there. Let's synth out of this problem. We at least got 3 damage on the board. Oh, boy, that's tempting. I'm just going to get our combo online, guys. Let's go. When you do these little air nibble bites to the opponent, a lot of times you don't have to go so all in with Tribe. That's why we play Strands. Keep it alive. Red. Yeah, it misses on a lot of stuff. Oh, Guardian argument. That's reaching. I could see if it was winning every challenge and every deck had 4 Guardians in it, and maybe, but still there's Edicts and... I mean, just imagine if, like, Squadron Hawk was, you know, a black and a white, but yet you could still just play Squadron Hawk. It's like, okay. Constraints for the sake of it. Well, we did have it, so that hurts a little bit, but we've got plenty of answers. I'd like to draw into like a Dawnbringer, or who am I kidding? I just want to find a land. All right, Skyfish Synth coming up. They don't have black yet, right? Could also consider inside outing the Skyfisher play and having the Hawk kill it. That makes things a little bit nicer, don't it? Yeah, we don't have him really on the back of his heels yet. Well, let's do Skyfisher. Return Synth. Maybe we'll hit a land. And this is why you don't want to play all artifact lands, guys, because it's kind of the only reason we're in this one still. Inside out showing up. It's a bit frustrating. Okay, well, at least they can attack. One in hand. I don't really mind losing it, but it would have been nice to use it as a combat trick. All right, it's dead. Oh man, we only got 4 minutes left. Somebody's gonna win quick. dear. If they've got more removal, they got it. Oh, shit. I thought I had a little napkin in here. There's the beast. I can flip his stats. Well, inside out the Guardian, said no one ever. Dawnbringer to the rescue. Woohoo! First we'll do this. Give me land. Cool. It's a flashy one, too. Dawnbringer. Bonk. Woo! Now you do have to fear a Strands, right? I got the discard engine online. Maybe I got it. Maybe I don't. I'm just glad they don't have any life gain. I hope Ticklebush here, my opponent, doesn't watch this later and understand how what I fear the most, right? There it is. Got about 2 turns. They've got 1 card, guys. I'm going to go for it. We're running out of time, and I feel the need for speed. Here we go. Let's see what we draw. Boink. All in, baby. Woo! Make sure to do this step. I guess we could Skyfisher too. Got everything I need. We've seen 2 bolts. You think Skyfisher? I haven't seen Strands from them yet. Yeah. I'm going to return a Great Furnace here. I guess I could do this. We don't have any mana though, so... Oh, I might want to return Dawnbringer. Whatever I return is going to be toss up. Okay, here we go. Attack! Mm-hmm. Hope they don't have a bolt or a terminate or all the other stuff we've seen. This is dramatic, right? This is always fun. So we pitch our whole hand. Because we don't have to do the whole hand. 17. Make absolute sure. 17, 17. Yep. Do we get there? They're going to tap for dramatic effects. Oh! Yeah, I was considering throwing getting Faithless Looting back, but then we didn't have enough damage to push through. So we only lose planes and some hawks. Obviously not optimal. It's nice to have fodder against a list, but we can't block the Guardian anyway, so down for the count. Yeah, at least it was dramatic. What a nice pull or discipline by keeping it back, you know. Play Gutshot, kids. All right, we've only got about another turn after this. We do have looting in the yard. I think maybe I should have brought back the Cleric or even the Glint Hawk to ensure that I could draw with synth, but if we don't hit Prismatic, this is an afterthought. What a fun game. Long one. Thank you all for sticking around. Down for the count. Yeah, that's pretty much the poker equivalent of all in, right? Just like, oh, we're dead. Good games. Nicely done. Our first loss of the day is to Gates. All right, let's see if we can just get a turn 2 kill here. I think we had a turn 3, didn't we? There you go. I'll bring this up. I guess I could just play this dude. get things moving a little faster. Hopefully they're not a quitter. Let's see what we're up against. Yuck. That's a colorful, messy hand. I'll pitch this. Mulligan. All right. Yeah, we'll keep this. I'll get rid of a loop here. And another one? Oh, yeah, we had to do 2, huh? Let's see, done. Boop. Pretty slow mana here. And then watch, it's the same list. Be like, what? What? All right, let's get this out. See ya, Shiraz. Great rest of your weekend, my friend. If I don't go now, I'll be eating 0 meals. That's a surefire way to lose weight. Calories out, no calories in. It's like hearing Neil deGrasse Tyson on anything to do with weight gain. He's just like, it's a pretty simple formula, really. Use more than you're eating. Getting already worried about that. I'm gonna strands or loot here. Hopefully I can just grab a bolt. Don't get it. Get the next best thing. We'll discard this, and this looks like it might be too fast of a matchup for my tap lands to really be a thing. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Play here. Cast the tribe. Put the Fear of God in them, right? Turn off their life gain at least. Yeah, we've played that quite a few times, Dreamer Stango. It's fun to get it back at instant speed. Oh, Kobayas, yes, that was a fun match. Boy, that was a grind. Nicely done. I had my math wrong on that. I thought I had one more turn. I was like, duh, double Basilisk Gate. I was like, why aren't you playing? What to do here? I want to say no white, actually. And then discard something. I think Skyfisher might be the problem here. I'm going to discard. Got to keep my artifact. I guess I'll discard Skyfisher. That'll let it live through the bolt. And if they attack, then I'll say white, because you can't really do too much with the life gain here. I don't know if 3's worth tripping a... Yeah, I'll do it. Let's go. White. Bet you didn't see that coming. No life for you. But not enough cards for me. Oh, that felt really good. Ay. Yeah, we've got the looting, but... boy. Let's fill up our hand. We'll try to do stuff next turn. Hopefully they don't gain too much life. That's one thing the Hawk kind of owns is the right to it's like I'm first, because if you wait a turn, nothing feels almost as bad as that, right? Where you're like, this is such a subpar play here. Bring back Furnace, no synergy, tempo loss. Yes, but that's why we kept it in our hand. Guess I'd play it. I do need sources, right? Oh, I already played one. Ha! I'm a fool. Woo! This is just better write down what we're playing against, right? I'll just say Boros AGG for aggro. Helps me out later. All right, no life gain. Nothing's on the books. That helps a lot. I'm not gonna lie. Let's do this. Making lethal next turn, but we've already seen a lightning bolt, so that's pretty scary, right? think the Hawk's worth the play here. Do y'all? Actually, I do. I'm realistically not going to just run in there naked. 3 cards. We've already seen a bolt. We've got air superiority, and this can probably keep us out of range of that if for the next few turns anyway. Let's get a little bit of synergy here. We might top deck a land and still have it, but I still wouldn't go for it, if any of that makes sense. Tribe is pretty nice at letting your other creatures do the work too, because if they do have a bolt here, it's like, do you really use it on the Hawk? Uh-oh, that's another card I just don't want to see. Very similar lists. I definitely probably have a bit more staying power with the life engine. We've got the, like I said earlier, the fireworks play where we can just knock them out. But that Seeker is going to be a big problem. I really got to draw a lightning bolt and play around strands. It's a lot of work to do. I believe that's what we did, Dreamer Stingo. Oh, that's interesting. They must have nothing in their hand. Okay. All right. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I almost want to play Skyfisher Return Land, play Invitation. Come on, we got to hit a land here. We'll play what we're supposed to do. The other one's guaranteed, though. Another tribe. Good fodder. Let's go get the monarchy. I really wish we had a land there. At what price? Oh, okay. I keep it. Interesting. Yeah, they probably, like you said, got another one. I'll keep the threat of a lightning bolt up so the Seeker might stay away. We do not become monarch. It's been a long time since I've played a monarch list. I think it's a pretty good call playing Boros that style without, you know, Galvanic Blast and the artifacts. Just so many people gunning with dust to dust these days. You just gotta be on the lookout, I say. Gotta kind of slow roll this. It's nice that we have the combo. I'm liking that. What is this? Oh, that hurts. Maybe I want it in the yard. Make him think that we need our graveyard more than we do. I don't know. That's game one, kiddos. I was thinking, like, did I lose game one? It's like, no, that's dust to dust main. That's how prevalent artifacts are in this format. That's actually not a bad call sometimes. I just kind of got a weird feeling like, did I have too much coffee? Like, what? Did I miss a whole game? Oh, to double block or not to? We do not. We'll just take this. I'm going to get rid of that Seeker. We can play Prismatic at any time if we draw it, because we can discard it to the tribe. Whereas, you know, this draws a card, and this instead of this, I don't know. I like our build. Okay. That's good, that's good, that's good. Yeah. Sitting too long. Oh, oh, let's get the monarch back, I guess. Yeah, I'll do here. Guess it's probably a good turn to loot, maybe? Let's remember to attack. Maybe I'll... Nah. Damage right. Okay, we're going to be drawing this turn, so let's wait one more turn on that other play. All right, we'll get a Skyfisher out. We have so much synergy in this list, and we're not finding any of it this game. It's returning lands, but you know that's always a nice thing about Skyfisher too. When you're stuck, we already did. I don't like that. I thought I could replay that. Mini punt number 2. Shall we drop another tribe? Nope. We will draw lots of cards. That feels very good. Don't need any mana to cast that. Now we have the option too to block Palace Sentinels. Not that it'll matter because we're going to be calling white if they activate this, but good problem to have. Guess in a vacuum you could argue that they could have nabbed their own clue token there. Boy, are we going to need to draw good here. Air Patrol. That Seeker's just so key right now. Do I just double block it? This is frustrating. Oh, Strands here. I think they're trying to get back the Monarch. Normally, your same color critters. This is frustrating because usually you can get so much more out of Strands even when you have to cast it one way like that. But this way we keep Monarch. At least I think we do. Gotta get our mana right. Can always throw another Strands in the yard. Oh boy. Yeah, life gain has entered the building. It's not a card I like to see. Main deck dust to dust. That's pretty burly. Make a little more sense in our list because we could always discard it. Pop, pop, pop. Okay. We needed loot, so I don't know what I'm waiting on. Loot. All right, cool. Stuff happened that's supposed to. Guess we do that. I ain't afraid. Let's go. I gotta keep something back. Let's do that. That's a wee bit of damage. So glad that that showed up for us, right? I was trying to play into Strands and it worked. That's true, Dreamer Stingo. That's a good point too. That's even better than my point. Yeah, just loot it away if they're not on it. Wonder if they're going to lose it against us in game 2. That sounds funny to say with all that. Is this lethal? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. I think we just take it unless he activates Seeker. Haven't seen any artifacts, so I'm not too worried about Galvanic Blast. We're in crisis mode. Tell you what, I wish I could play as Duress. See what we're looking at here. Hey, that gives me an idea. Maybe I'll make Orzhov Tribe. Having to use red for red. Well, let's rock. Doink. Maybe they're just holding a bunch of dust to dusts, right? Could be that. Yeah, I think I'm just going to play Hawk. Probably have attacked first, but whatever. We'll get our mana right. Let's say yes just because. Every once in a while you miss one. Play the land. We're at 5. Rather that than the one that was there. Well, let's go. We've had the combo like this whole time. We just can't risk it. And they've got a strands. Okay. Shoot. Puts us in a really tight spot. I'm glad we got our mana right. Might have to trip that synth just to try to stay alive here. Find an answer. I'd imagine they might be running like a journey package since they're not running an artifact Gal Blast sort of thing. That's when I love that. The elimination effect of Experimental Synthesizer. It's like, I don't want to land here. I'll never see it again. It's out of the game. We got to keep in mind we've only got one more strands in our deck. That's a thing. That could be a very painful one. I like that line in Rocky 4. And it's like, is that a fact? Yes! And it could be a very painful one. The guy played such a good typical Russian. No sense for dramatics here. I just do it now. We're dead to so many things here. Well, we started real strong. 3 wins in a row, but we might end with 2 losses here. If this game 1 is anything. Yeah, I still wouldn't even go there, Dreamer Stango. We've already seen a Bolt. We've seen Strands. I mean, obviously right now with Strands, it would be a no-brainer for our opponent. But well, that's interesting. This is a very strange main deck list, right? He's playing main deck Electrickery. He must have just got wrecked by fairies and like Affinity. And he's like, I'm not falling for this anymore. These are all going main. And it's not that bad of an idea when you think about it. It is only 1 of 3 games if you do hit all 3. I think I would play in the Festivities over that, but I haven't seen the artifact draw engine. It's just so hard to get away from Synthesizer when you're playing Skyfish and stuff. But, you know, yeah, we've seen Skyfisher, but obviously he's not playing Glint Hawk. Squadron Hawk showing up. Come on, tap out. Please tap out. I'm going to fill up the air so that they can block. Not enough. We've only got 1 more. It'd be so nice to just draw it. We do not. We need to attack. Let's draw cards. If we reveal a prismatic here, I'll just have to play it. It'll be kind of sad, right? Oh boy. Well, we draw a card either way with that option. Let me study this real quick. We need to hit Strands. The Synthesizer's not going to get there because if we reveal anything, we just lose here, or do I have to trip inside out right now and hope that I draw Strands? The problem is, I guess if we hit Strands, no, because then I have to discard it and use its flashback effect, and then we're still dead next turn. If you start to, I think I have to play inside out. But then we're just surviving for what, 2 turns? And Yeah, I think inside out's the play here. I'm glad I stared at this a little bit. I'll target this guy. This feels so good if we do hit strands. I don't think we can win this game, but it'll keep us alive for 2 turns. And it's like what a play. No. All right, they just win. At least it wasn't on the top, right? I'll bring back synth and see. I mean, it would have been planes there, right? No, it would have been bolt. Watch this be strands. Nope. All right, off to game 2. Even though this feels like game 2 because main deck Electrickery, main deck Dust to Dust. Say what you will, it worked. Not that it was that powerful against us, but Dawnbringer is gonna come in. I'm gonna bring in some Tormod's Crypts for their strand anti-tech there. Anything else, guys? I don't even mind. You know, these are great. I don't want to get rid of them to, you know, turn off their Dust to Dust because I think they might actually get rid of them. But it's like Chimpskey pointed out, that triggers anyway if they do it. And this already gets us the card when it enters play, so I'm not too worried about that. I don't want to overboard. I'm afraid that if they bring in Journey, we've only got the Dawnbringer here, but I'll try it. Oh, shoot. I didn't take anything out. Good grief. Oh, no. Never run into a slow opponent when you do that, right? It's always the people that are ready on the spot. All right. Well, maybe everything will work out perfectly. That's pretty good. We'll keep. It's tough. Got the synth and the tribe right out of the gate, so, and a duel, so we'll try it out. Womp womp womp. Feeling like, oh my god, you got to make 3 decisions real quick. Not the land we wanted to see. It's 63 cards. It's like somebody doesn't have discipline. Already, well, good. I'm glad the graveyard's already online because if we hit any of like our Tormod or something off the synth, we can just blap. And that is what I said, blap. Come on, be a land. This be the second game this has happened. Gosh dang it! I don't think we're meant to win this one, guys. Of all the things to hit to us, strands, it's rough. Got to draw. We got to draw off the synth. And we still got 1 off the Glint Hawk, so I'd probably still keep this in retrospect. The Cursed 63, yes. However, you could say it both ways. We've never won and we've never lost a game with 63 cards. Depending on what your mood is that day. Okay. Well, that's a way to get rid of a card. Oh, yeah, that hurts a little bit. I wish we would have drawn in. It'd be nice if this is just a land, though. Maybe we'll just get real lucky. Damage doesn't work here, sir. Never been a fan of those celestial lands our opponent's playing. I think by themselves they're neat. It just, that one, you know, when you look at them up close, they're not too bad, but I don't know what it is individually, and when you focus, it's bad art or anything. It's something about just the whole thing. I don't know. God, it'd be so cool to have a wedding invitation out right now. At least we can kill that thing. He's got strands. Never mind. At least we'll make him use it now, though. My goodness, this is getting ugly quick. Yeah. 7 cards in hand. I guess we wait for that. Yeah, I'll do that. I just want to see if might be able to just get rid of it if he attacks with it, you know what I mean? It doesn't have another white creature. That's why I didn't want to do it right then. We might have to use our strands depending on how big this thing gets. Well, we could kill our own dude here. But we've already seen a Skyfisher. If I kill my own guy, it gets back enchantment. I think we let this go. I'll bolt it now and hopefully he doesn't have another answer. Almost have to bolt just to keep our hand size correct, right? Huh, they didn't do it. All right. Okay. I mean, Dawnbringer might show up, but that's... we need lands to happen first. It's a third of our list. Do you think we'd hit a land by now? It's been a long one today. I'm so aggro-minded. I thought of playing Glint Hawk there. Maybe try to keep 2 artifacts out. This person had main deck hate for the metagame, so I assume you want lands since you lose if you don't. Oh, I wouldn't play God's Willing. If the combo happens, it happens. That's usually the best way I've found to play this list. Trying to go all in, like with I'd probably play Benevolent Blessing over that, Daskar. Yeah, permanent protection. Yeah, Ultra Volcarine. You know the song. Screw flood, Mulligan 2. Hey, that's exactly what happened this game. Wait, no, last game. One of these games we mulligan twice. Quite a few of them, actually. Maybe a few too many. Come on, opponent. Can only bluff Lightning Bolt for so long before it loses all meaning. Woo, coming up on 3 hours. Thanks for hanging with me, guys. I think I've lost both my hosts, but you're all still here. I don't know how those guys put up with me all these years. But I'm glad they do. Ah. We are only taking 2 here. I'm just going to try to get our mana right, guys. Well, that helps a little bit. Man, oh man. This is not the ending of our day. We started off red hot. But these last 2 games felt a bit clunky. Man, look at the mana disparity here. Be fun to pull up an experimental synth into like a Tormod's Crypt, drop tribe, swing. Gosh, 20 to 19, it just feels like we're at 6 life. It's been such a frustrating first few turns here. Okay. Good news is, if we do play Hawk, it'll probably take some heat away from their removal suite. And that they probably want to keep the Monarch, I would imagine. They're like 10 cards up on us. Wow. Woo! Here we go. Okay. Well, I guess we play Hawk first. Actually, I want to play Tribe first, and I can save the Hawk with Prismatic. Let's do it that way. This way, if Wedding Invitation doesn't hit a... no, I have to do that, don't I? I was considering bringing back the land, but I'm like, nope. Okay. Yes. Come on. Not good. Oh, wait, we got 7. We're drawing cards. If he has Dust to Dust, it's just dead. At least for a turn or two. I had Flaring Pain in my sideboard for a little bit. But yeah, it's a good call. It's just a zigzag sort of last game metagame thing. Yeah. I do think that's a good call. Can't remember if it was the libation I was drinking or what that made me finally lose it, because I had up to 2 in the sideboard for a while there, Dreamer Stango. But I do think on our old What Did You Learn style segment that's probably what we learned. No sense in blocking here. We could trigger the tribe. Gosh darn. 6 mana to 2. Who do you think's going to win? One person can do 6 things a turn. The other 2. Equate it to punches, and you know who wins the fight. I sure hope OBS has a fix for that pretty soon. That suggests they don't have another. I'll discard the strands. I hate doing this. It's like, strands for half off, half the value. It's like, no. We need to hit a land so bad that I think this is worth the tempo loss, unless he's got another one, but if they did, they would have done it in response. Let's click very slowly there. Good point, Dreamer Stingo. Feels like oh man, I thought for a second there, I was like, do we have the win? Since we might lose the bridge, I will tap that one. Now that we have 2 artifacts out, Dust to Dust is live. I do too, Rakdos Madness. Thanks for noticing. Yeah, Treese Nielsen's definitely a thing with me. I think my mountains are that too, the promo version. A little bit of watercolor. Just a nice wash of the sky and the promise of rain. Pop. Come on, sucker. Yeah, it's pretty good. Let's attack first. Just act like we've got something here. Is it going to live? Is it not? All right, at least get to draw again. No Seeker. We can get maybe one more land. I mean, we've got the combo next turn. Whoa, they do it. Okay. All right. And again here, so if we had like a relic, being that we have Tormod's Crypt, both for the activation of last second synthesizer, or even like this looting play, I can just play it right now. I'm going to get rid of both Hawks. Please, just let us force it into play. All right. A little mana screwed and playing twice as many coming to play tap lands as our opponent. As long as that life total doesn't move north, we still have a shot, but it's getting pretty grim. Prismatic Strands is so unfair. You're on the other side of it. Well, on both sides of it, I guess. Yeah, I always considered if Magic Online was made first instead of the paper game, if they would have like had card mechanics like your opponent loses 2 minutes, like a time mage, and give blue yet more stuff. That's awesome, right? They're setting up for a Rally the Peasants play here, and we don't have anything to defend against it. Yeah, let me waiting invite. It sure is. That's one of the best clock burners around. If they've got it, they've got it. I'm just trying to play to my outs here. Hit strands. Yeah. Okay, we'll get rid of this. And I guess tribe. I'll get rid of the invite. Shoot. Can I get rid of the bolt? No, I can't get rid of the bolt. Tribe. Play this. Play the hawk. We're never really fully exposed with our intentions when you play with Tireless Tribe, because we could have Prismatic right now, and we can do it. That's the one advantage. They have to always hold up their mana. Okay. Time lock, that's a good one. These plays suggest they're looking for something. Thanks for joining me, everybody. I know it's been a long one today, coming up right up on the 3-hour mark. So if you're watching this on YouTube, apologies. It probably won't be up till a few hours after this airing. It's frustrating for them too, because of Tireless Tribe's mechanics, if they do have Rally the Peasants, you just can't go all out here. Somebody should have brought in the Festivities. That somebody was me. Make them use their Prismatic defensively. Interesting line. I could trip a wedding invitation on the hawk and get in. 2 lightning bolts down. They're halfway through the list. Probability is not on our side. That'll help a bit. What to do, guys? What to do? We need to draw cards. How many prismatics have we used? 2. It sure does. Dreamer Stango. Oh, I get to see a... Okay, good. I guess I get rid of the bolt here. I don't even think we can survive, can we? 2, 4, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I can be just alive. Nothing makes sense to do that too, so I might as well play this. We've always got the threat of a prismatic of our own. Okay. Should we attack and just get rid of 2? I kind of like that play. Yeah. Use your bolt now, sucker. Yeah, when I first made Boros Bully, it slowly morphed into the list our opponent is playing here. Okay, they've got another Strands for sure. Makes that Tormod's Crypt not feel all that great, right? Not that we have enough tribe damage here. I think we lose, guys. 3-0 and then 0-2. Oh well. What are we looking at? More card draw. Boros kind of has answers for everything. This is interesting. Force us to get rid of a card here. But which one? Nature of the beast. That's very true. I would say it's a porcelain cannon. There's a lot of staying powers we saw earlier with Skyfishers and stuff getting there. Or our did we just like? Well, remember we're 3 cards up because of my screw up in the sideboarding. So it makes you wonder if we had a synth draw or something we might be able to pull out of this. Six, 7, 8, 9. Come on over. Story of my life, those autocorrects. Always affecting me. Okay. Well, we can deduce. There's a Squadron Hawk in the yard, so we know 1 card in their hand. Now we don't know any. 3 on the board, 1 in the yard. Seekers in the yard. How'd that happen? I don't remember that. 2 of them. Life gain's great against me. Okay. Wedding invitation. I'll play it to draw. I think we just lost here. How good would Strands and right into that feel, right? We'll loot here. There you are, Synth. We're just dead. Do this. We'll just see what we would have drawn. If this even gets allowed alive, right? Pretty hard for your sideboard to show up when you're playing with 3 extra cards. That was... I mean, I guess we can at least make an effort of doing this, and then we'll concede. Good games there. Well, we started hot, we ended blah. But that's how things go in this game we all know and love. Magic the Gathering. Loss. I don't know about you. I'm still not hungry. But this is my list. White Wedding. I like it a lot. But Flaring Pain was definitely missing. And I say that lightly. Make sure I didn't mess up my keys here. Okay. Pain. And we'll make it for red. Oopsie. I hate when it does this. Hey! Go red. Boink. Come on. Make this change now. I think 2 in the yard would have been a good call there. I'm not sure what I would lose. Patrician Scorn was pretty good. I'd probably lose an Evil and a Missionary, but yeah, it makes you pretty susceptible to some other stuff. But we do have in the festivities there, so I'm going to make that change now. I think this is how I had it like 14 hours ago or something, and then at the last minute, I'm not quite sure why I got rid of it, but I did. But yeah, it got some super firepower here, and a lot of as we saw in the first games, crazy amount of synergy and draw, which is nothing new to the format with the Skyfisher engine using a synthesizer and the wedding invitation to get you out in a pinch, and then you always have access to this. But again, the beauty of this list is just being able to play prismatics at any time. It doesn't even have to be in the You're completely tapped out. There's nothing in the yard, and you still can cast Prismatic Strands. I guess that's the best takeaway. So thank you for that, Ultra Volcarine. Please like, subscribe, and all that kid stuff. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'd appreciate it. Until next week, everybody. This is Deluxikoff signing off after a long show. Apologies for the slow upload later on YouTube. And we'll see you next time on Propaganda. Adios, everybody.